New intro. So much love and appreciation to those of you who have been with me for the 2 year period plus that I've been doing this. Thank you for showing your love and support to the channel. And to anybody else who is brand new to the platform and you would like to support the channel, also, you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you. Jersey man who taunted his 6-year-old son and forced him to run on a treadmill for, quote, being overweight, along with other things, has been charged with the loss of life of his son, Christopher Gregor of Monroe, and as of Wednesday was charged with the loss of life in connection to his son, who last April prosecutors state has shown signs of issues. At the time of the father's arrest on Wednesday, Gregor had already been charged with the loss of life. The 6-year-old boy was pronounced deceased at Southern Ocean Medical Center on April 2nd of 2021, with the medical examiners later determining that the child suffered a lot of injuries and trauma. While investigating the deceasement, law enforcement officials found that Gregor had allegedly went after and injured the child in Barnegat and charged the 29-year-old with endangering the welfare of his son. And on March 3rd of 2022, the Ocean City Prosecutor's Office received a report indicating that the child passed as a result of injuries to his chest and abdomen, and that the manner of deceasement for CM was ruled to be a homicide. An investigation found that Gregor was in custody of the child when he suffered the ultimate life-ending injuries and was responsible for the boy's passing. Investigators determined that Gregor had went after and injured his son after they obtained surveillance video from the Atlantic Heights Clubhouse Fitness Center on March 20th. But it shows Coy running on the treadmill while his father increased its speed, taunting him for being overweight, leading to the child to keep falling because he couldn't keep up the pace. At one point, Gregor appears to bite the struggling boy on his head when he placed him back on the treadmill. Gregor turned himself in and was held briefly at Ocean County Jail following a July 9th arrest on the charges of endangering his son. He was released later while the investigation continued. The mother, Brianna Micolo, stated that her and Gregory are both separated but share joint custody of the boy. And she also told a caseworker with the State Division of Child Protections and Permanency about her concerns regarding the child's injuries. After taking the boy to a doctor upon a visit of child protection, the 6-year-old told the doctor that, quote, his dad had put bruises on him and that the injuries were caused by playing football and running on the treadmill. On March 3rd, the prosecutor's office was notified by an expert witness that the boy had passed of trauma to the chest and abdomen. It's a shame at the loss of life. This little boy did not deserve what initially took place directly to him by way of his father, who was the one that's supposed to protect him, right? The one that's supposed to look after him, the one that is supposed to take care of him, right? And I'm pretty sure that even at this moment in time, just with this image, that there are more than likely quite a bit of women that would still decide that, even though I know about the story, I'm looking at him, I'm a little bit interested, right? Regardless of the story, regardless of whatever he did, you would still have women out there that would still try to pursue him because they feel that they're different. They feel that what happened here would never happen to them, nor would they allow it. And my main point is, if you know that this is what a guy like this is about, why would you potentially risk the chance of going out there, right, and pursuing somebody like this, right? Now, the other thing that I want people to notice is that how many times that they said they had him and then they let him go. They had him, they let him go. They knew about the issues and incidences, but they let him go. They might have potentially charged him with something, but they still let him go. Like I said, it was a whole in and out of thing dealing with this court system, right? Even though they have all of this evidence to state that, yeah, he is guilty, he's the one that did it, he's still innocent, right? But if this is a black man and none of these things transpired, but yet they would try to consistently prove, and they would have one little sliver of some supposed evidence that supposedly linked a black man to something, and it's like, well, we're going to keep you here for this while we're still doing our investigation into what specifically happened to this child or this person, because we feel that you are the number one suspect because you are linked specifically to this person, and all evidence basically points to you, even though we don't really have any evidence to say that, right? So, like I said, this is also further show that the system will do the utmost to protect their own, no matter how wrong that they are. And I'm going to stress this again for the women out there. If he is willing, right? He got what? What is that, like the close to the blonde hair, blue eyes, fair skin? If he is willing to do that to his very own child, what do you think that he would potentially do to one that he has with you? Like I said, I'm just putting that out there because a lot of people are not going to learn and they're not going to understand up until this same thing happens to them. And then this further goes into the whole point that I stayed on this platform hundreds of times before, which that adults do not care about kids. That the majority of times, whenever things like this happen to children, it's by way of adults. It's not by way of kids doing this to other kids. It's adults doing this to kids. And yet again, the system does not care about kids. No matter how much they want to sit up there and say, they're in on the exact same thing. They might sit up there and prosecute some, but they can't prosecute everybody, because if they prosecute everybody, they would have to also throw themselves in jail and prison as well. And they're not ready to sit up there and do that, nor are they going to sit up there and do that. So they'll play the sleight of hand tactic. Be like, yeah, the justice system does work. Look, we just prosecuted and found evidence on this father of what he did to his son. But what about what a lot of these lawyers are sitting up there doing? What a lot of these judges are sitting up there doing? A lot of these cops are sitting up there doing. A lot of these nurses and doctors are sitting up there doing. A lot of these orthodontists are sitting up there doing. Like I said, I can keep going and going and going because I've done a multitude of stories covering a lot of different professions. And it's 9 times out of 10 men that look just like him that go directly after his own blood. Craziness. Craziness. And also to point out the fact that they were separate. So this is not a, a Wally Cleaver, type of thing where the mother and the father are both in the same home. No, they have shared custody. This is what happens in a lot of true American relationships. They're not together, but they have shared custody. It sounds awfully similar to what black people also do as well, but yet nobody would sit up there and consider him a father not being in a home. Why? Because quote unquote he has shared custody, right? But the court system acts differently when it deals with their own, right? Versus when it deals with black men and black women, right? That system is built to further divide and to cause a canyon, in between both parties, so that the child will end up and grow up fractured. So, like I said before, there's a multitude of things that I could touch on that revolve around this story, but I'm going to just try to limit it just on those things that I listed. But like I said before, to the true Americans out there, y'all can talk all y'all want about all of these statistics dealing with the black community of which you're not a part of, you're not in, nor do you spend money, nor do you live in at all. But yet the main things that you don't want to talk about is your sons that look like Christopher Gregor Monroe. You don't want to talk about your sons who do this to the kids within the community, or who do far worse, or who sell them narcotics and have them end up passing away because the usage of that illegal substance and or material. Y'all don't want to sit up there and talk about that. Y'all want to deflect, and y'all want to sit up there and go right to the black community, which we all know y'all don't even care about. Like I said, the more and more you focus on us, the more and more this is going to keep happening, the more and more this is going to keep sliding by, and the more and more your population is going to continue to decrease because you're not paying attention to the real problem, which is you. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I listed in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.